In today's video, we're kicking off a multi-part series on prone activities. In other words, exercises that you should be doing every day on your stomach. We're going to start very, very easy. So if you're in the very early stages of mobility and progress all the way up to advanced activities, all doing these exercises face down or in the prone position. So if you are someone who has had a neurologic injury and you are trying to restore what we call functional mobility, i.e. walking, bathing, dressing, going up and down stairs, going up and down ramps, getting in and out of a car, grooming, showering, anything like that, I absolutely think at a minimum you should have a prone routine at least one day a week. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara, I'm a neurologic physical therapist, and on this channel we talk about anything and everything related to mobility, health, fitness, and mindset, with the end goal of giving you all the tools possible to take ownership of your rehab and your overall mobility. Now, before we dive into the video, if you're new to this channel, as a reminder, we do have two membership programs. Both membership programs will include a PDF handout that goes along with this video, which has pictures and descriptions of all the activities that we're going to go through in today's video to make it super easy for you to incorporate these exercises into your home exercise routine. But in addition to that, the huge benefit of these membership programs is really to speed up your recovery. The stuff we cover in our webinars and our monthly Q&As are jam-packed with tips and tricks and just information that your therapist just does not have time to go over with you during your sessions that you could be getting or should be getting, as well as 22 years of my experience of things that I've tried, things that have failed, things that have worked. I've really been able to condense all that experience to make sure that you are getting to your end goal in the most efficient way possible. But if you want to learn more about our membership programs and to sign up, you can visit rehab-hq.com. Me and the rest of our community would love to see you on the inside. But now back to prone activities. I am absolutely shocked by the number of times that I see someone that has already completed a several-month stint in outpatient physical therapy that has not been on their stomach since their stroke. It blows my mind every single time. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but if you happen to be going to an outpatient center that doesn't have like really wide, what we call plinths or mats or mat tables that are power height adjustable, then you probably aren't going to an outpatient center that has really dedicated a lot of time and resources and therapists to treating neurologic specific diseases. I will tell you, me personally, when I went out on my own, a power adjustable large mat was extremely expensive for me at the time, but it was the first piece of equipment I purchased because someone who is working with neurologic patients over and over and over again, multiple times a day, it's absolutely essential. So just because a facility has one of those mats doesn't necessarily mean that they are devoted to neurologic injuries, but I would definitely see it as a red flag if you're going someplace that doesn't have the right equipment, i.e. a large power adjustable mat table. You might not be going to a facility that has a ton of experience treating neurologic conditions. But that's a tangent. Let's get into the reasons why I think that this should be something that you start day one. First and foremost, for stretching. Now you guys know my formula. It's mobility, then activation, then add a function. In the early stages, if you're always on your back and your knees are always bent up, the muscles on the front of your body get tight, and it's going to make walking, reaching, everything just that much harder when you're in the activation stage because you have all that resistance pulling you forward. But not only that, getting to your stomach is how you activate a lot of muscles, which we're going to go into in this video. This is what I would call kind of like stage one rehab of getting on your stomach, where the process of learning how to get to your stomach is an exercise in and of itself to activate certain muscles and groups of muscles that are absolutely critical for walking. We're going to go through those exercises today. But in the advanced stages, it is also absolutely essential. You know, recently we just talked about the posterior kinetic chain. Getting on your stomach is one way that you can activate that entire chain of structures. But in addition to that, there is so much you can do to get a full body workout targeting all the muscles that many of you comment about in the comments below, as far as hamstrings, breaking up abnormal synergy patterns, getting good strength back in your scapula, in your arm in general. All of that, a lot of that can be done and should be done on your stomach. So maybe some of the activities that we go through today aren't necessarily challenging enough for you. Definitely come back in the following weeks where we're going to be progressively increasing the difficulty. But now, enough about all of that. Let's go ahead and dive into part one, where we're going to go over early stage rehab rolling, working on activating muscles critical for standing and walking, as well as activating muscles to start building back that arm for activities such as reaching and grooming and dressing. So step one in this series, and again, this is for those of you that are in the early stages, is how do you get from your back to your stomach? Step one in this progression of prone activities is rolling. And like I said earlier, it is a functional activity in and of itself, and that's what we're going to go through first. So you're going to start on your back and work on hip flexion. Now, in the early stages, you want to roll towards your stronger side because it's just going to be easier for you, okay? So we're going to start by initiating that roll with your legs. So what are we working on? We're working on swing phase of walking, but we're also working on what we kind of call diagonal patterns, which is also a part of roll of walking. All right, so if you absolutely can't do that, then take your stronger leg. If you can't pick your weaker leg up, hook it under your weaker leg, grab the side of the mat, and pull yourself over, okay? So if you're earlier and you can't move your leg at all, or you cannot roll initiating it with your leg, take your stronger leg, hook it under your weaker leg, grab the side of the mat, and pull over onto your side. And what you're gonna do, since you can't lift your leg laying on your back, is you're just gonna work on lifting your leg on your side. So you're doing kind of like a partial roll. Kick this leg back, which a lot of you even in the early stage can do. If you need to, stay holding onto the mat, bring this leg back, and bring it up and over. Still initiating it, but you're initiating the movement with your leg. You're just making it a little bit easier, and you're doing what we call a little bit of an active assist with your hand. You're just helping yourself a little bit. As I often say, when you're helping with your stronger side, help as much as you need to, but not more than you have to. And you're just working on initiating that leg movement, okay? And then once you can do that, you can let go and initiate that movement. And then once you can do that, you can slowly start working more and more towards your back and initiating it where you're involving more of gravity. So the more closer you are to being on your back, the harder it's going to be to lift that leg. The closer you are to being on your side or even partially onto your stomach, the easier that's going to be to bring that leg forward. Once you're on your side, you're going to take your stronger arm, kind of work it underneath you, and prop yourself up on your elbow. That's the easiest way to be able to get to your stomach. And then from there, you're really just falling. Okay? So you're here, prop yourself up, and fall. So now you're on your stomach, and what are we going to work on? Very simple. You're going to work on prone on elbows. That's it. In the early stages, if you just did this once a week, you would be setting yourself up for success when you get to standing and walking, stretching out everything on the front side of your body. Then what else you can do in this? Making sure that your arm is directly, or your elbow is directly under your arm. You can work on your wrist. Supination, pronation. I've shown this in a few other videos, but it cannot be understated how valuable this is. You're looking at your hand, you're moving it, your brain is connecting with it. So there is value in this. You are getting weight bearing on your arm, which also gives a lot of great input into the brain in the early stages to wake that arm up. And then also what you can work on this is cervical extension. Remember, even your neck muscles are so important for walking and for restoring shoulder movement down the road. So, cervical extension. All right, and then what we call like a cat camel. This is working your shoulder blade muscles, really activating the muscles around that big flat bone, which is a critical component to restoring reaching. If you've been around for a while, I've done a ton of videos on the importance of that scapula, so you can get some of that motion in, all in one position. That's why I say if you just did this once a week, it would be a game changer in setting you up for success for bigger skills down the road. Okay? And then if you can, some of you can't do this because it's too painful for your arm, but if you can just lay down, you're going to lay, you're going to turn your head to the right, lift your head, turn your head to the left. Lift your head, turn your head to the right. You've been laying in one position or sitting in one position, all those neck muscles get super tight, and they all contribute to making it harder to work on reaching down the road. So just nice rotations. And then from there, the other one you can do, just put your arms wherever. Some of you might have to just dangle your arms off the side because it's too painful to keep your arm up like that. You can do that. So when would you do that? When you're rolling to your stomach, be close enough to the edge that you're safe, but you could still drop your arm off. So some of you, it's going to be too painful to have your arm up. This position is tolerable for a lot of people. And then you're going to take your other arm, just put it down by your side, and just do lifts. This is actually working everything down the chain. It's working your bottom muscles, it's working your back muscles, it's working your upper spine muscles. Very, very critical. And if you can, just try and initiate movement a little bit with this arm. Okay? Just a little bit. Just trying to get a feel for what it might feel like to activate those muscles, okay? Just by you trying, this is going to be a better position than when you're laying on your, or when you're sitting, because you can't compensate as much. And then one last exercise, which is an absolute must in this position, is knee extension. So putting some kind of a roll underneath your foot or your ankle and working on activating those muscles that help to keep that leg straight. Okay, and then that is it for this video. Again, this is stage one, what I think is an absolutely perfect routine that a lot of you should be doing at least once a week. But for those of you that are a little bit more advanced, we are going to ramp this routine up a little bit next week. So definitely make sure, if you're not subscribed, that you subscribe to this video, but also make sure that you tune in next week on Sunday, where we will be doing part 2 of this video. If you're watching this down the road, like way into the future, I get a lot of questions about where's the first video or where's the second video. If you go back to this channel, Rehab HQ, and you go to the videos tab, all the videos are in chronological order. So before you click out of this video, look at the date, go to the main video folder of this channel, go to that date. You will see the following videos kind of in the same ballpark, meaning they'll be right in that same area. But that is it for this video. Don't forget, there is a membership program, actually 2 membership programs, which give you access to the PDF handout that goes along with this video, but also a ton of other perks that is absolutely going to decrease the amount of time that it takes for you to achieve your goals. Again, to learn more about those programs, visit rehab-hq.com. I enjoyed spending time with y'all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.